Boy, you can sure give a man a hangover with that gun barrel of yours.
Well, that's better than being shot, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon. Thank you, Marshal.
And don't come back.
Don't worry. I won't.
Mr. James, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a dime. Rabbit's foot and a comb. Sign it. Clements. 20, 40, 60, 80, 110, and 12 cents. Well, looks like you didn't spend much, Mr. Clemens. You're lucky.
Sure. Real lucky. Spending my vacation in this hole.
Oh, it's not too bad. Food's pretty good.
Listen to me, Herb. You made a monkey out of me, and I'll be back. And I'm not coming alone, either. My brothers will be with me, and you'll wish you'd never seen me.
Clements, you made a monkey out of yourself. You didn't check your guns, and you had plenty of time to do it. Now, as for your brothers, I took care of Mannon, and I'll be very happy to meet the rest of them.
I'll tell them.
Yeah, you do that. Now, here's your gun. But I don't want you to load it or put it on until you get in the outskirts of town.
You're throwing me out of town, huh?
That's right. When you cool off, you can come back in town if you want to. But remember to check that. Come here. Sign your receipt.
Like I said, I'll be back.
I'll be here. Clements. You slam that door and I'll throw you back in the cell.
That young Clements is going to turn out even worse than his brothers, if he lives long enough.
His pride's hurt, that's all. He'll get over it.
Marshal, there's a funny-looking dude over at the Wichita. Says he wants to see you.
A dude?
Yeah, and packing the biggest gun I ever saw. You ought to see the size of it.
Yeah, I guess I ought to. Sam, check those out for me, will you?
Yes, sir.
I'll be back in a little while.
So Earp came from Ellsworth to Wichita several months ago, huh?
Yep.
Well, why'd he leave Ellsworth? They run him out?
Yep. I insulted him, so he left. He's very sensitive.
Now, never mind the sarcasm. I just want the facts, Doctor. I want to know everything there is to know about Wyatt Earp. Well, now what's the matter?
Nothing. I was just wondering if you'd fit a regular-sized coffin or if I should have one specially made to order. A little wider across the beam.
Now, you stop talking like that, or
Or what?
or you stop drinking out of my bottle. Now, you ready to answer my questions?
All right.
All right.
I'll answer all I can.
Well, now, how many men did he kill?
Who?
Well, who do you think? Wyatt Earp.
Oh, him. None? None as far as I know.
All right. None? Well, what kind of a frontier marshal is that?
I think I'd better let the marshal himself answer you on that one.
Are you Wyatt Earp?
Yes, sir.
Well, I've come a long way to meet you. My name is Buntline, Ned Buntline. You heard of me, of course.
I don't think I have, Mr. Buntline.
Oh, you must have. I write dime novels about the West. I've written hundreds of them. What's the matter, you people out here? Don't you read?
Well, I was just about to ask you the same question. Can you?
Well, Sir, you are addressing a man whose command of English is the envy of...
A simple no or yes will be sufficient, Mr. Buntline.
Well, of course I read, you idiot.
Then you're under arrest.
Under arrest? What for?
For that.
Huh? For what? Oh, I'm a little nearsighted. I can't see a thing. Oh. I beg your pardon, Marshal.
If you don't mind.
This isn't loaded.
Well, the law makes no distinction between loaded and unloaded guns, Mr. Buntline.
It isn't even mine. Just read the inscription on it.
What's this all about?
It's a gratuity, Mr. Earp. It's a small token of my admiration for you as the most stalwart of the... It's not true that you haven't killed anybody here in Wichita, is it? Oh, it doesn't make a difference. People will never believe that. They'll believe what I tell them to believe. Marshal, this is your lucky day.
Mr. Buntline, I think you've been drinking a
Well,
little too
of
much.
course I have. That's what saloon's for, isn't it?
I think you better come along with me.
Well, I certainly will. That's what I've traveled 2,000 miles to do. Mr. Earp, you are one of the... I've undergone a great many inconveniences to make this trip. I left my favorite razor back in Boston. I forgot it. And now I can't shave until I get back home.
Why not?
Because I'm sensitive.
Oh.
And believe me, sir, I didn't leave a luxurious home in New England just for the trip. I came here for one purpose, and one purpose only, to see Marshal Wyatt Earp of Wichita and to offer him fame and wealth beyond his wildest dreams.
Mr. Buntline, I still haven't the slightest idea what you're talking about.
Well, now, surely the thought of fabulous wealth, complete financial independence, surely that's a thought worth exploring, is it not?
Go ahead and explore it.
Smoke, gentlemen. They're specially made. Cost more than $1 each.
No, thanks.
Are the windows open? I'll take one.
Mr. Earp, have you ever heard of a man named William F. Cody?
Buffalo Bill? Sure.
You know who made Buffalo Bill? Do you know who changed him from a nondescript, practically penniless hunter into an international figure of fame?
No.
Do you know...
You know this isn't a bad cigar. Thank you.
Do you know who made Buffalo Bill the idol of every female in America? Do you know who enabled him to earn 50,000 American dollars in less than 1 year's time? Know who? Me, Ned Buntline.
It figures.
And I can do the same thing for you. Now think of it. Your name up on the banners, just like Buffalo Bill's. Ned Buntline presents his Wild West show, featuring in person Wyatt Earp, the great frontier marshal. How does that sound to you?
It sounds ridiculous.
What? Well, maybe I haven't made myself clear. All you'd have to do would be to...
All I'd have to do is stand up on a stage and make a fool of myself, get all dressed up in fancy clothes, and smile at 1,000 staring faces. Oh, you make yourself very clear.
Now, just a moment, Marshal. Don't... I warn you that...
I'm the one that does the warning around here. Now, you get out and stay out. Go on to back where you came from.
Well, you can't
Go on,
talk
just
to me
get
like
out.
that. I'm not...
Wyatt. You took the fella too serious. He was only trying to make you filthy rich.
Filthy is the word.
Sit down. I want to give you some advice. Oh, I know you never listen to any of it. But will you please sit down now? Please listen to me.
All right.
Wyatt, each man has to decide what he will do or won't do for money. But I hated to see you passing judgment on Buntline.
I didn't do that.
A plain no is enough. Instead, you throw him out. That's passing judgment.
I guess I did lose my temper.
Buntline can claim respect on a good many counts. I'd say offhand that he's made about 1 million children happy. Don't you add that to his favor?
Yeah. All right. I was wrong. I'll apologize to him.
Good. Oh, and another thing. He went to considerable trouble and expense to have this thing specially made for you. Now, the least you can do is try it out for him.
Maybe I will.
Look at that. I wonder what it is.
Well, good morning, gentlemen.
It's alive. It talks.
Come on, let's go to town. We got things to do.
Now, wait a minute, kid. That'll keep. That's one thing you gotta learn. Never pass up fun when you find it. Life's too short.
What do you mean? What do you mean, fun?
Fun. Say, you know, that's a real fancy outfit you've got on. That.
Well, thank you very
yes,
much.
It's a nice.
Yeah, no, stop it, will you?
Say, wait a minute, mister. There's one thing you gotta learn about this country. Don't insult people who are trying to make friends with you.
Well, I didn't insult you.
No.
I'm. Will you have a cigar?
Well, you're a dude smuggler, huh? You're in trouble.
Oh, I'm no. Hey, now, cut it out, you men, will you? Now, I warn you, you'll regret it.
You don't say.
Yes, I do say. I don't think the marshal would like to see his friends mistreated.
The marshal, huh? You friend of the marshal?
Wyatt?
Yeah.
Well, I should say I am. He's practically a partner of mine. Now, I tell you, let's just forget this, and I won't say anything. I've got a sense of humor.
Well, it's a good thing you have. Yeah, you're gonna need it where you're going. You're coming with us.
Yeah, oh, no, I'm not.
Shut up. You're coming with us.
Well, I guess I am.
Marshal, that Wild Clements kid is back here looking for you with one of his brothers.
Oh, they checked their guns?
No.
Where are they?
Sitting on their horses right up the street. And listen, Marshal, you know that noisy tenderfoot that was here yesterday? Buntline?
Yeah?
Well, he's with him.
You sure?
Positive.
That's close enough, Marshal.
Mr. Buntline, you're in bad company.
None of my choosing.
Shut up.
Yep, I told you I was coming back.
Chip, you surprised me. I figured you'd raise your kid brother to fight his own battles.
I did. I just come along to see it was a fair fight. That don't mean no shotgun against a 6-gun. It's gonna take some mighty fancy scattergun shooting to miss your dude friend here.
Hell, I've never had to kill anyone yet. I'd hate to have you be the first.
It's going to be you or me. You can make up your mind to that.
I'm sorry, boy.
Never mind being sorry. Just get rid of that shotgun. Then you and the kid can shoot it out alone with 6 guns.
What about you?
You know me better than that. I'm not butting in if it's a fair fight.
All right, Hal, you got yourself a shootout. I'll be right back.
He's yellow.
No, he ain't. He says he'd be back, he'll be back. You just better be fast today, kid.
Don't worry about it. I can beat him.
Yeah, I reckon you can at that. Matter of fact, I'd be willing to make a bet on it if I could find somebody to bet with.
You stay here. All right, Hal, get off your horse.
You said something about a wager, Mr. Clemens. I'd like to bet $100 on the Marshal.
You get yourself a bet.
All right, hold it right there. Now make your play.
You're crazy. You can't hit anything from there.
I can hit you. Now draw.
What's that?
That is a bunt line special.
What, now just a minute.
Sam, come on over here and break that up.
Well, you had your shootout, Hal. You're still alive. I'm glad.
You really are.
Yeah. I'll go on to the jail.
Yeah.
You're a mighty excitable little man, Mr. Buntline.
And you're a coward, Mr. Clemens.
Hold it!
You talk about fair fights. You were going to use that rifle on the Marshal.
Oh, it might have looked that way to you, but...
Are you staying in town? If you are, check your gun now.
No, I'm not staying.
Mr. Clemens, you owe me money.
You're right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I wasn't going to use this rifle on the Marshal.
Yes, well, I say you were.
Well, I say I wasn't.
Yeah, all right. You were. Gentlemen, the drinks are on me.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Not till you get that patched up.
Well, we can patch and drink.
You come on over to my place.
I'll see you at the Texas house. Take your man.
Hey, Mr. Buntline. I'm I'm sure you won't have any complications now. Just wear that for a couple of days.
Yeah, well, I may wear that a little bit longer.
How's your jaw feel?
Well, it's still a little sore, but nothing to affect my drinking.
Would you like a little nip?
You're the doctor.
Well, I prescribed a little spot of elixir.
All right.
I call this Plu's Spaventure. I'm sure you like it.
Good.
It'll take the wrinkles out of your jaw and out of your head. Hold her now. There we go. A little toast.
Huh?
To your health, Mr. Buntline, and to your courage.
Oh, Doc, well, thank you, Doctor. Thank you very much.
If I was a drinking man, I'd join the doc in that toast.
Well, that's very kind of you to say that, Marshal. Great. So you like the special, huh?
Yes, sir, I sure do. It's a fine weapon.
Good, good. Sit down, Marshal.
Well, thank you. There are a couple of things I'd like to say to you. First, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your action on the street today. You're a very brave man.
Well, I never did anything like it before. You know, Marshal, I think there's something about your part of the country that gives men courage when they need it.
An interesting observation, Mr. Buntline, and very possibly true.
There's something else. I owe you an apology. I hope you'll accept it.
An apology? What for?
For treating you the way I did yesterday. I had no right to be angered by your business proposition. I'm sorry.
Does that mean you accept it?
No, sir. I've thought it over, and, well, I decided against it. I thank you just the same.
Well, I wish you'd tell me why.
Well, I'll try to answer that. I guess it's because I like the frontier. I like the people. I admire and respect them. Even the bad ones sometimes.
I think I know what you mean. Those Clements brothers, for instance. No matter what else they are, they're still strong men.
Yeah. It takes a certain kind of man to make the West. It always has. I guess I just wouldn't be happy in any of the surroundings, Mr. Buntline. No matter how much money I could make elsewhere.
Well, we'd have cleaned up, you and I. Well, I tried anyway. Believe me, the trip was well worth it.
About this gun.
Now, that gun is yours.
Well, I'd like to keep it, Mr. Buntline, but I can't accept it as a gift. I'll buy it from you. A regulation Colt's worth about $60 new. I figure this is worth about $100. Will that be all right, Mr. Buntline?
It will not. Now, look, I'll make more than 100 times what that cost with my eyewitness account of the hair-raising, breathtaking six-gun duel in the dusty, silent, sun-baked streets of Wichita, Kansas, at 10 cents a copy.
All right, Mr. Buntline. I accept it with thanks. Saved a life today. Might have been my own.
Marshal, all I can say is wear it in good health.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, I better get back to Boston and get a shave. Goodbye, Doctor.
Bye.
Marshal.
To close crooked gambling joints and rowdy dance halls. And why did he permit Ben Thompson, a notorious gunfighter and killer, to operate a gambling game in Wichita while Marshal Earp's stormy cleanup campaign was raging to a murderous pitch of tensions and hatreds?
Come on, bring him out of there. Go on, there's plenty of bars up the street. You guys go that way and get on down.
Is that all of them? That's the last one of them, Mr.
Unsanitary, you call it. I washed my glasses as clean as any place in this town. You're just using that public health ordinance as a trick, and you're not going to get away with it.
Come on, keep moving.
That's a great idea, Wyatt. You're going to have all of Douglas Avenue hating you.
That's Judge Jewett's idea. See, when the saloon owners get too slick for me to prove crooked gambling, why, he's ordered me to proceed under Ordinance 27. Be a lot quicker.
Can you use it against dance halls?
Yeah, got to close one up the street.
The Dreamland joint?
Uh-huh. They've been importing immigrant girls and paying them almost no wages. Oh, but don't print that in your newspaper. They're kind of scared to testify.
I understand. The Orient Saloon and the Dreamland Dance Hall were closed today as unsanitary by Marshal Earp. I was ordered to take this action by Dr. Andrew Fabrique, City Health Officer.
Howdy, Marshal.
Oh, hi, Mr. Finley.
I wasn't sure you'd remember me.
Well, I've looked at you over a gun sight once or twice. Mr. Murdoch, this is Jack Finley, friend of Ben Thompson.
Oh, yes. Ben Thompson?
How is Ben these days?
He's fine, thanks. Oh, Marshal, I know you and Ben had several run-ins over at Ellsworth, but he don't bear you no grudge. And if you...
Why should he?
Well, what I wanted to ask you is, how do you feel about Ben? You saw it, Ben?
No.
Well, will it be all right if he comes into Wichita?
Sure. As long as he stays out of trouble.
I mean, what Ben wants to know is, he wants to buy into a game here.
That's no business of mine as long as he runs it honest.
Oh, Ben knows that, and he'll run straight as a strip. Is it all right if I tell him you said? Thank you, Mr. Earp. Thank you very much. I'll tell Ben. Oh, he'll sure be mighty pleased.
On the eve of a cleanup campaign that's going to cause you a lot of trouble, you say Ben Thompson can come into town?
Ben and I have settled our differences.
But he's a dangerous gunslinger, a killer, and...
Also a pretty honest man.
Oh, come now, Wyatt.
Well, he's always kept his word to me. I never did hear of him cheating at cards.
But you had a gunfight with Thompson. You sent his brother Bill to prison for killing Sheriff Whitney.
Now, look, Mr. Murdoch, a man in my line of business, well, he's got to let his old quarrels die. To be strictly honest about it, I always did like Ben Thompson.
That's good, Johnny, good. Get down around them cracks there and into them little crevices. Here, put some carbolic acid in that scrub water. And these glasses, I want them all dipped in scalding water. This place is going to be sanitary. Dave.
Yes, sir.
Where's the roulette wheel?
Well, it was set crooked. Dunphy's fixing it honest.
Good. No wonder Wyatt closed this dump. Well, didn't Jack tell you?
No.
Earp and I are friends.
But he's John Law in this town.
I love Wyatt almost as much as I love my brother Bill.
Yes, sir.
So spread the word. I'll have no talk against Wyatt from the men who work for me or the customers. And another thing, I thought I told you to tell these men how I stood with Wyatt. Dave didn't know.
I'm sorry, Ben, but you told me to check on all the opposition. In the rush, I might have missed a few.
All right. What'd you find out?
Plenty.
Now, you men keep busy. I want this place spick and span.
And I never listened to such mean talk. Wyatt's going to have a small war on his hands. Ain't nobody likes that ordinance number 27. Anyway, who can run a clean place in a town like Wichita that's all dusty and muddy? It just don't make sense.
Does to me. I told Wyatt he couldn't make that gun-checking law stick up in Ellsworth. But I was wrong. And if he says this town's going to be sanitary, he'll make it stick.
Well, anyway, all the opposition say that Ordinance 27 is just an excuse to give Wyatt the power of let run or close up.
You against Wyatt?
Me? Oh, now, Ben, you...
I'm going to tell you a thing or two. Now, Wyatt could have killed me in a fair draw and a fair fight, but he didn't. He could have had my brother Bill hanged, but he didn't. Now, Bill's up in the hospital in Denver. Got a chance to get well.
Well, you should have told us about that before, Ben.
I don't spill things until it's necessary. But when I'm loyal to a man, I go all the way.
Sure, Ben, sure.
Now then, just where do they talk the meanest about my friend Wyatt?
The Hotel Wichita Bar?
You got about an hour to get the men ready.
Oh, Ben, trouble our first night in town.
When I'm loyal to a man, I go all the way. Now, I told you that. So get going.
Ben and Wyatt are friends, and I'm a friend of Wyatt, so I can see Wyatt anytime I like.
But lady, you
Oh,
can't...
lady, I hate that word. Oh, are you Wyatt, the best friend of Ben Thompson?
Well, I know him, yeah.
Like Ramon and Romulus. Oh, it is beautiful.
What's your name?
I'm Lolita Ryan.
More Lolita than Ryan, huh? Well, what can I do for you?
Oh, I think I'm going to have to hurt Ben's other girl. You are his dearest friend. You chase her out of town for me, please.
Well, you just better sit down. Now, let's get one thing straight. In the first place, I'm not Ben's dearest friend. In the second place, I let him reopen the Orient Saloon because he promised there wouldn't be any trouble and that he'd run an honest game. Another thing, I can't mess into Ben's private affairs, so if he's running around with another girl, you're just going to have to settle it with him.
You will not chase her out of town?
Nope.
Oh, but he doesn't like her very much. He only took up with her because he thought I was with my mom in San Antonio.
Well, you just go tell that to Ben.
Oh, but I did. And he said not to hurt this girl. He say you wouldn't like it. What am I to do? She's no good. She's one of the biggest...
Wyatt, Ben Thompson and his boys are headed for the Wichita Hotel bar with guns.
Go get Sam.
All right.
Miss Ryan, you control your temper.
Oh, but...
And you stay here, understand?
See?
And so, any time that you don't keep the joint clean enough to suit that big head, he can close you? Why, that's against the Supreme Court. Earp's got too big for his britches this time. He needs cutting down to size. Every man that is a man in Wichita ought to start...
Hold it, Morrison.
Howdy, Ben. I was just telling the boys...
I heard what you said. Does he speak for the rest of you, cowhands?
I sure do. How about you, Ben? You with us?
No. Now, any man that speaks against Wyatt Earp speaks against me. And I'm closing this place. It ain't sanitary. So everybody out. Come on.
Oh. They was cooking up some devilment, so I'm closing the place. It ain't sanitary.
Look, Ben, when there's any closing to do, I'll do it. Now, you and Finley and the rest of the boys know you're not supposed to be wearing guns.
We under arrest? All right, what? Anything you say.
The rest of you go on back to your drinking.
Hold it. I'm gonna wait for the marshal. Okay, let's go. Come on.
Wyatt. Now, I don't aim to criticize, but I think you're being a mite overconfident about this sanitary business. There's trouble cooking.
Yeah, well, you better take care of your own trouble.
What do you mean?
A girl by the name of Lolita Ryan came to see me.
Lolita. She shouldn't come around bothering you.
Yeah, well, she did. She threatened one of your other girls.
Carolyn or Millie?
She didn't say. You better calm her down.
All right. I sure will, Wyatt.
And another thing, you and I are friendly. All right, that's fine, but well, we can't act too friendly. People might misunderstand it.
I know. You're the law, and I'm Ben Thompson.
We'll keep it that way.
But Wyatt, I didn't shoot nobody back there or take that saloon apart. All I did was try to be real nice. And another thing, about that judge in the morning. Don't you worry none. If it's going to embarrass you, I'll just say you and me don't even speak.
Just don't say anything.
All right? Pay the fines for me and the boys, and I won't even look at you. $80, $90, $100. There you are, Judge, $100.
There's something about this matter that bothers me, Mr. Thompson. I have a note here from the owner of the hotel, Wichita. He says the trouble started because you resented certain remarks against Marshal Earp.
No, he's mistaken, Judge.
Well, how did the trouble start?
Well, there were these two cowhands, and they was telling it around that my place ain't sanitary. So I said to Jack here, I says, we better put a stop to that false slander. And isn't that right, Jack?
Yes, sir, that's right.
That sounds plausible. I couldn't believe that a man like you would risk a fine to defend Marshal Earp.
We ain't friendly. But I will say this, Your Honor. I don't believe that Marshal Earp should be walking around this town without his deputies the way he does. There's a young foolhead of a cowhand out gunning for him right now.
I can take care of myself.
All right, Wyatt. You're the boss.
Morning, Judge.
Just a minute, Marshal Earp.
Yes, sir.
Is Thompson right about some cowhand gunning for you?
Well, there usually is a cowhand who thinks he wants to gun me, Your Honor.
Yeah. Maybe you should have at least one deputy with you at all times.
I can't spare him. Spread too thin as it is. You, just let Ben Thompson worry about me.
Start what you got. Go ahead, start, why don't you? Maybe you think I won't shoot, but I will. You closed my brother's place. You put him out of business. And now I'm going to...
I'm shot! I'm shot! Oh, shut up, kid. You ain't hurt bad. Maybe next time you'll believe me.
Wasn't gonna shoot Ben. Was talking too much. Dr. Fabric's office is just across the street. Go on over.
I'm bleeding! I'm bleeding!
Get out.
Am I arrested again?
Ben, you're not supposed to pack a gun on the street.
That kid, he was going to plug you.
Ben saved your life, Marshal.
Look, Doc Fabric is gonna report a gunshot wound. I couldn't let you go if I wanted to.
Oh, but Marshal...
Shut up, Jack. All right. Let's go see the judge. Where you going? You weren't wearing no gun.
And on your way over, give this to Mayor Hope.
Yes, sir.
Well, what is it this time?
A drunken kid tried to gun me, Your Honor, and he shot him in the arm.
Thompson warned you. What's the charge?
Carrying guns in violation of a city ordinance and careless discharge of firearms.
What have you to say to this, Mr. Thompson?
Well, I reckon Marshal Earp was doing his duty.
Well, I don't. The man saved your life, and you arrest him for misdemeanor. Did you ever hear of gratitude, Marshal Earp?
Now, don't scold him, Judge.
I asked Marshal Earp a question.
Well, sir, I recommend that Ben Thompson be let off this time with a reprimand.
A reprimand? If you haven't the decency to thank Mr. Thompson, I will. This court expresses its gratitude for assistance rendered Marshal Earp and dismisses his asinine charges against you. You and Thompson aren't friendly. Yet he saved your life at the risk of his own. Greater love hath no man than that. You'd better learn some common humanity, young fella.
Yes.
Sure, I'm sorry, Wyatt.
You played the hand the way you saw it. Oh, what have you done about this girl, Lolita?
Lolita. You know, I plumb forgot about her when I heard that young Jim North was...
Well, that's all over now. You just take care of that girl.
Yes, sir. Right away, Wyatt. Believe me.
I'm going over to the hotel, and I want you to send word over to me there that she promised to behave.
I'll marry her. Anything.
Good. Wait a minute. You can't marry her. You're already married.
Lolita don't know that.
But that's bigamy.
Don't get sore.
Well, I'm not sore. It's just that I want you to stop making trouble around here. That's all. Another thing, don't go around saying that you love me like a brother. If you're going to say anything, say that you hate me.
Okay, Wyatt? Okay.
What's the matter? Not so loud.
She's after me. Shut the door.
Who's that? Come here.
Oh! She's after me. Stop me. Oh!
Where'd you get?
Here. It's bleeding. I can feel it.
Let's get the Dr. Fabric's office. And you stay here. You're under arrest.
I told you I'd get her. Let me go, you. Let me go.
Come on.
Ben's best friend. You take sides with that Millie Spencer. Fine friend you are.
Marshal Earp, what's all this?
Felonious assault, Your Honor. This is Lolita Ryan. She cut a girl with a knife.
Oh, next time I'll really cut her.
That'll do, young woman. How's the girl badly hurt?
Not too bad, sir. According to Dr. Fabrique, it's just a cut in the rib.
And where did this affray take place?
In Wyatt's room at the hotel, Judge.
Really?
She's
Oh, now, wait a
nothing but
minute.
a dyed-haired, blind crybaby. She ran into Wyatt's room to make trouble with Ben and me.
Ben? Not Ben Thompson.
Yes, sir. I told Wyatt last night he must make Ben get rid of this girl. But does he help? Oh, no. Ben must be loco. He picks a John Law for best friend.
Marshal Earp,
Yes, sir?
I was never under the impression that you and Thompson were friendly.
Well, we're fairly good
He
friends.
pretends to be Ramon and Romulus with Ben. He lets him come into Wichita and open up the Orient Saloon. But does he help him get rid of Millie? Oh, no. Look at me, Judge. If you were Ben's true friend, would you let Millie make trouble?
I haven't seen Millie.
Well, she's one of...
Silence. Well, I guess we'll have to lock her up. Deputy,
Lock me up? For how long?
until tonight, we have no place for female prisoners to sleep.
Okay. You're a nice man. You tell Ben Thompson to get rid of that Millie. And as for you...
That'll do. Put her in the old courtroom and ask Mrs. McGee to keep an eye on her.
Yes, sir.
You take Millie. You can have her.
Come on.
I can make a fair guess as to what happened. You gave Thompson a break, and he kind of latched on to you.
Yes, sir.
Well, he can't go on, Wyatt.
I know it.
I'd explain matters in a nice way and suggest that he leave town.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it's going to have to be.
You don't seem too happy about it.
I just can't order him out of town, Judge. I mean, he's clean as far as the law is concerned.
But with his great devotion to you, he'll go as a personal favor, won't he?
Yeah, I reckon he will. I guess Ramon will just have to part with Romulus.
Wyatt's outside. Says he's got to talk to you.
Did he look sore?
He didn't look too happy.
That Lolita. She ought to be pistol whipped.
What am I going to tell Wyatt?
Well, tell him I'm here. I don't hide from my friends.
Oh, look, Ben. Lie to him just once. Tell him you ordered Millie and Lolita to get out of town. This is the best gambling spot we ever had.
I don't lie to my friends either. Now you get out there and tell him I'm here. Door is open.
I suppose you heard what Lolita did to Millie, huh?
You got a right to be sore, Wyatt. Real sore.
Being sore ain't the point. The point is it's liable to keep on happening.
You want me to leave?
It'd be a big favor.
You just think it would.
I know it would.
Sit down. Wyatt, tomorrow's Sunday.
There's no rush.
That ain't what I mean. You plan to go to church in the morning or in the evening?
I don't know. Why?
You aim to go at all?
Yeah.
Where are your guns?
I don't wear my guns to church.
Well, wear them tomorrow and watch behind every bush and tree. Look, Wyatt, I'm leveling with you. That dance hall crowd has brought in 2 men to bushwhack you.
Oh, that's just talk, Ben.
No, it ain't just talk. Now, that's what you said when I told you about that North kid gunning for you, too. And I saved your skin that time, but you're too big-headed to admit it. You're big-headed and you're stubborn. And you got some fool idea that you can handle everything all by yourself.
I've done all right so far.
So far. And you're good with a gun, sure, but you can't take on all of Douglas Avenue all by yourself. And these men tomorrow, they ain't gonna give you a chance for a stand-up gunfight. They're gonna cut you down as you walk on your way to church. Now, can't you get that through your thick skull?
Would you mind leaving on Monday?
All right. All right. I'll leave Monday, and you go right ahead and get your inside shot out, and I won't give a hoot. I won't even send no flowers.
Well, now you begin to sound like the old Ben Thompson I used to know.
I ain't your friend, and I never was.
Good. So long, Ben.
Goodbye. And have a nice long sleep on Boot Hill.
You and him have a row?
Yeah.
Say, that's great. He tried to order us out of town?
That chance he's got of making it stick, he'll be dead tomorrow. And I can stop it, too. But I won't. I'm not even gonna lift my little finger. Let him die. Mike, hold on.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Murdoch. I see you've been working late again, huh?
I just heard a wild sort of a rumor, but it worried me.
The bushwhacker talk, huh?
Yeah. An ambush somewhere on this side of town.
Near church.
But if you knew about it, where are your guns?
Mr. Murdoch, I thank you for the warning, but if I was going to look for a hole every time some drunken cowhand said he was going to bushwhack me, I'd have to crawl underground like a prairie dog.
Yes, but look,
Now, you go on home and get shaved. I'll see you at church.
Listen,
I'll
White.
see you later.
What if he wears his guns?
It won't do him any good if he does wear them.
Get set. Here he comes.
Quiet, get down!
So long, Wyatt. You seen your pal?
Thanks, Ben.
Where's that coffee, Tex?
Come on up.
Morning, Shorty.
How do you do?
How's things at the Rainbow Ranch? Some coffee?
No, thanks. Well, we're losing cattle now and then.
You're not the only one. Every ranch of the 100 miles of Wichita has been losing cows lately.
Including us.
Well, maybe the rustling's over with now, after what I just seen.
What'd you see?
I seen Bill Slocum in a gully out between the Salt Flats and Miller Creek.
Well, that's our range.
He had a fire going and a cow roped on the ground.
Whose cow? One of his?
No, Duke. One of yours.
What?
Yeah. I seen the brand plain on her hide.
Maybe Bill Slocum's been doing all this rustling all along, Duke.
Sure looks like it. Using the running iron, I reckon.
Now, I didn't exactly see him use the running iron. It might be that he had that cow tied up for some other reason.
Sure. Why else would he have a fire going? Unless to heat up an iron to change a brand.
Yeah. Why else?
You know, we ought to make a call on Bill Slocum. Teach him the error of his ways, Duke.
Sit down, Shorty.
No thanks, Duke. I gotta go back to Rainbow. So long, fellas.
Thanks for the information,
So long.
Shorty. Now we get that river bottom land that Bill Slocum claims is his for nothing.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a good thing we got Shorty for a witness.
Sure is. No one would believe it if one of my riders claimed he saw Bill rustling. Tex, you better get the boys. We're going to a party.
Where do I pick up Bill? At his ranch?
No, he'll be at the cattlemen's meeting this afternoon in Wichita. We'll take him in hand there.
You think that's a good idea? White Earp might cause us some trouble.
This happened out of town. It isn't any of Earp's business. And if he's as smart as people claim he is, he'll be looking in the other direction when we pick up Bill.
You're the boss.
Is the meeting over? Hi, Moss. Bill? Well, Mr. Delaney, how'd the meeting end up?
Oh, like all meetings, a lot of talk, no action. Me, I'm a man who wants a little action.
Like what?
Well, I'd rather not say. But one thing I do know, if I lose many more cattle to the rustlers, I'm going into bankruptcy.
Maybe you ought to hire a couple of range detectives yourself.
There you are, Moss.
No, I can do my own detecting. If I catch anyone following my herds around, I'll string 'em up to the tallest tree in Kansas.
That wouldn't be very wise, Mr. Delaney.
You got a better idea?
Yeah, you catch anybody rustling, you ought to turn them over to the proper authorities and let them give them a fair trial.
Fair trial? Why, the courts would let a man like that go scot-free 9 times out of 10.
Well, if he's innocent, naturally. You forget that all of us are innocent until proven guilty. I'll see you.
Yeah. Well, it's plain to see he's got no cows to lose. Earp or no Earp, if I catch me a rustler, I'm going to see just how far his neck will stretch. Well, so long, Bill. Say hello to the wife and the young'uns.
Right.
Going somewheres, Bill?
Going in that saloon if it's any of your business, which it ain't.
Says he's going in for a drink, Duke.
You haven't got time for that drink, Bill. There's your horse. Get on.
What's the idea of pulling a gun on me?
Get on your horse like Duke says.
Put him on his horse.
Where are we taking him, Duke?
The Cottonwood Grove at Cowskin Camp.
Where? Duke Wilson and his boys just buffaloed Bill Slocum. They're taking him out of town. I heard Duke say something about the Cottonwood Grove at Cowskin Camp. Looks like they planned to lynch Bill.
You all set, Tex?
All set, Duke.
Shorty Beckett saw it all, so we have proof, if we need it.
No use my telling you you got the wrong man. You know who's been doing the rustling around here.
Much obliged for the river bottom land, Bill. After you slip the noose over his head, I'll hit the horse.
Get that rope off that horse and turn it loose.
You're sticking your nose into something that's none of your business, Wyatt.
Well, I figure lynching's every man's business, Duke.
Your authority don't extend beyond the town limits of Wichita.
You must be mistaken. Seems to me I got quite a lot of authority right here in my hand. You can't kidnap a man on our main street and bring him out here to hang him, or did somebody forget to tell you that? All right, Tex, cut him loose.
I said cut him loose!
That's for past favors.
Man's a proven rustler, you know that.
Yeah, who proved it?
Shorty Beckett saw him using a running iron on one of my cows this morning.
Why, you...
Take it easy, Bill. That's hard in the knuckles. Go and climb on your horse. We'll start back to town.
Well, I guess we know now how you feel about rustlers, Mr. Wyatt Earp.
Look, proof of a man's guilt is only decided by a court of law. If you get any charges to bring against Mr. Slocum, you do it in a proper manner. And we'll have a trial by judge and jury. They'll decide whether your charges are true or not. That's the way civilized people do it, Duke, just in case you're interested.
You haven't heard the last of this.
What are you gonna do about it, Duke?
Tex, you hightail back to the ranch with the boys and get your guns. Meet me at Allen's Corner about an hour before sundown.
All right.
Heard about things like lynching parties, but that was too close. Wyatt, ever had anything like that happen to you?
No. Never won a noose yet, but I think there are a lot of boys around Wichita that got some hemp all picked out for me.
Mighty awful feeling. You can't do anything about it. You can't reason with anybody. You can't convince them.
Well, I tell you, Bill, half the trouble of being a marshal is trying to protect men from lynch mobs.
If it hadn't been for you, I'd be dead right now. Sure. And what would they have done to those guys if they had lynched me?
Well, they'd have been arrested, tried.
Sure, and I'd have been dead. And the law would have just pointed their finger at them and said, you're bad, bad boys. Isn't that right?
No, you're wrong. They'd have been found guilty. Now, come on, get hold of yourself. Try to think of something else.
All right. All right, what do I do now?
You stay here in jail under my custody. Till I can prove your case one way or the other.
Stay here in jail. You just got through telling me that one of your biggest troubles is keeping away lynch mobs. If you keep me in there, they're bound to try and get me.
Now, look, cool off and try and forget about it. You're going to stay here.
Getting out of here. Now, look, if I'm going to die, I'm not going to do it like a sitting duck. I'm going to take someone with me. Wyatt, you saved my life. I don't want it to be you. Now, get out of my way.
I didn't think you'd fall for anything like that. You know, that gun isn't loaded.
I know that trick, and I know it's loaded.
Well, if I were you, I'd break it open and make sure.
I know that trick, too, and I know it's loaded.
Are you sure, Mr. Slocum?
Don't make me pull the trigger, Wyatt.
You know, I keep that gun unloaded because it's a good test on prisoners. I've had a couple of them pull the trigger on me.
You're bluffing. I'm sorry, Wyatt. I could have killed you. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think you wanted to really pull that trigger.
No, I guess I didn't. Look, doesn't that prove to you I'm innocent?
No, it just proves you're not a murderer. It's a long road from rustling cattle to shooting a man in cold blood.
But I am innocent.
Then you ought to be willing to stand trial. The lynch mob, they don't go by the law and they don't go by evidence, but the judge and jury will.
How do I know?
Settle it in court, Bill. Otherwise, you're going to have that thing hanging over your head the rest of your life, and I can't keep you in protective custody forever.
All right, put me on trial.
Good. I'll make the arrangements with Judge Jewett.
What? Sure want to thank you.
Come on, I'll put you in. So.
Well, thanks, boys. I'll tell the marshal.
Wyatt.
Duke Wilson and his men are in the joints around Keno Corner talking up a mob to come after Bill Slocum.
I had the scheduled time pretty well. That's why I'm eating supper now. I didn't think I'd have time for it later.
He's got a lot of half-drunk troublemakers ready to follow him.
Drunks usually make up the major portion of any mob.
You might need the townspeople to back you up. Shall I ring the triangle, Wyatt?
No, don't ring the triangle. I think the best way to handle a lynch mob like this is for me and my deputies to try and reason with them. If I had a mob backing me up, too, it's liable to bring on the fight they're all spoiling for. Cause wholesale slaughter on both sides. Come on. Here they come.
That's far enough.
You're digging your own grave, Wyatt. We want Bill Slocum. Now get out of our way or we'll mow you down.
Duke, you take one more step toward me and I'll kill you.
Go on, Duke. Don't let that tin horn bluff you.
If any of you think I'm bluffing, just take one step forward. I got 5 slugs in here and 2 barrels loaded with buckshot to spray both sides of the street. Between them, I don't think I can miss more than half of you. Well, Mr. Delaney, I'm surprised to see you with this irresponsible bunch. Most of them half drunk, all of them just itching to string somebody up. They don't care who or what the reason is. Yeah. I guess the opinion I once had of you being a fair man was all wrong.
Well, I've been losing a lot of cows lately, Wyatt. And I sure feel any man that's a rustler should be strung up to the highest tree in all of Kansas.
Well, I'm not saying a rustler shouldn't be punished, Mr. Delaney. But why don't you let the law decide what punishment should fit the crime? Let them carry it out.
Law? With a rigged jury, I reckon.
The jury will be made up of cowmen. Now, who'd be better qualified to decide whether a man's a rustler or not than men like yourself?
Then you figure to give Bill a trial? Not let him go loose like Duke here claims?
Bill's going to trial tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. The charge of rustling. Judge Jewett tells me he's planning on having you as foreman of the jury.
Well, maybe he's right. Maybe that's the right way to do it.
Oh, no, he's just trying to grease you up, Jeff.
You lied to me when you said Wyatt figured to let Bill go free.
Yeah, what makes you think he won't?
Because one thing about Wyatt, he don't lie. If he says Bill Slocum's going on trial, and with me, foreman of the jury, well, then that's so. Come on, break it up. What are you hanging around here for? Come on.
Hold it! All you men are carrying guns in violation of a city ordinance. Before you start back to your saloons, you walk ahead of me to Judge Jewett's office and pay your fines. Guns are not to be worn within the city limits of Wichita. In the future, I advise you all to remember that. It'll save you a lot of money.
Now get walking.
Go on, move! Well, good evening, Bill. I had your dinner, huh?
Yeah, I didn't eat very much. I lost my appetite.
I got word out to your wife. Told her you'd be staying in town tonight on business. Didn't want her to worry about you.
Much obliged. Oh, and thanks, too, Wyatt, for stopping that gang of drunks from pulling me out of here.
Oh, forget it. Now, you're going to stand trial at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I think you're innocent, Bill. But thinking's not enough. I got to have proof. Otherwise, that jury just might see fit to bring in a verdict of guilty. You know what that means?
I thought a man had to be proven guilty, not innocent.
Well, that's the usual way. But everyone's a little touchy about losing cattle. They're just liable to let the circumstantial evidence carry enough weight to prove your guilt. You better give me some idea where I can locate most of your herd, and I'll take a ride out there first thing in the morning and have a look-see. Maybe we can figure out something.
Morning, mister.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Grimmick.
What are you doing up so early?
Well, I came to get my horse, but my key doesn't work.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I changed the lock. I'm going to have to give you a new key.
Well, I'm glad you finally told me about it.
Well, you want your horse, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to take a little ride in the country.
Well, this is kind of a funny day to be taking a ride. I heard there's going to be a big time over in town today. What with Bill Slocum standing trial and all.
Yeah, well, I'll be back in plenty of time for that.
Court's in session. Quiet in the courtroom. We have the case against Bill Slocum, accused of rustling. Stand up, Bill. How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty, of course.
You don't need that, the course in there. Simmer down, Paul. Bill wants to emphasize the fact that he thinks he's innocent. Let him. I don't see the counsel for the defense. Any of you gents know where Wyatt Earp is?
What's Wyatt Earp got to do with the trial, Judge?
He's going to act as defense counsel.
Ain't that a little irregular, Judge?
Well, it would be ordinarily, but Wyatt asked me if he could. I said yes, which makes it regular.
Well, I guess it don't matter much, seeing as how we got enough evidence to hang Bill anyway. Only hope Wyatt ain't as fast with his tongue as he is with his guns.
Now, let's get on with the case. Wyatt will show up at any time. Bill, you better step over here at the stand and give us your side of the story.
Raise your right hand, place left hand on the Bible. You swear to tell truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Stand.
And you'll never get a cowman to believe that you had that fire burning for any reason but to heat up a running iron.
Like I said, I roped that cow before dawn. I had to wait for it to get light.
What were you doing putting your rope on a Duke cow? She ain't your property.
While I was waiting for it to get light enough to see that Duke brand plane, I started the fire to fix my breakfast.
Why were you so curious about the brand on a Duke cow? To see if you could blot it out some way?
I've been losing a lot of stock lately, both cows and calves, and I thought that cow was mine. I was certain of it.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
In my courtroom, Wyatt?
Oh, nothing will go wrong, I assure you, Your Honor.
Proceed.
Are you trying to say that you think Duke Wilson's been stealing your cows?
I am, and I was trying to prove it.
It ain't bad enough that you rustle from a man, but you got to turn around and accuse him of doing it to you. I'd like to say a few words to all of you. I object, Judge. I got the floor here, and I intend to keep it.
Let Wyatt speak his piece. He's gone out and gotten some evidence. Maybe it'll settle this case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Murdoch, would you give me a hand?
Glad to.
Now, one of the things you cowmen should have taken into consideration before taking for granted that Mr. Slocum here was the rustler was the almost impossible task for Bill to change a brand like Duke, which has got 4 letters in it, into his own brand, the bar D, which has only got 1 letter with a small bar running through it. Now, if for no other reason, I figured Bill was innocent because of this. But now take a look how easy it is to change Bill's bar D brand into the Duke brand, simply by blotting out the small bar that runs through the D on the branding iron and adding the 3 letters U-K-E. Now, if you excuse me, I have a witness I'd like to bring in. Now, whose cow would you say this was?
Well, that's one of Bill Slocum's cows. Got his brand, Bar D.
All right, we know it's Bill's cow. Now, Mr. Delaney, it's pretty easy, isn't it, to tell which calf belongs to which cow?
Easiest thing in the world. If the calf ain't hers, the cow won't have nothing to do with it.
All right, now, if this cow had a calf, what brand would be on the calf?
Ooh, same brand as the cow, of course.
The Bar D brand, in other words.
Yeah?
Well, now, what if the calf had a different brand than the Bar D?
Well, that'd be rustling, plain and simple.
And, Mr. Delaney, how would you identify the rustler?
The rustlers would be them that's got their brand on the calf.
Thank you. Mr. Grimmick?
Well, look at that. It's Duke what's the rustler. It ain't Bill Slocum.
You two stay there.
Let us have them 2, Wyatt. We'll give them what they figure to give to Bill Slocum. Only we'll give it to 'em proper.
Order. That's a fine way for a jury to behave.
Your Honor, I'll put these 2 men under arrest.
Good. And I'm dismissing the case against Bill Slocum.
I'd like to say a few more words, if you don't mind.
Go ahead, Wyatt.
Now, you men got to get it through your thick skulls that the days of lynching are over on this frontier. If you continue ignoring the law, You can bet your bottom dollar we'll never get out of the woods at all. Ollie, I want to take him to jail. We got a nice cell and 2 bunks waiting for him.
Orders adjourned.
Just saying thanks doesn't sound like much, but thanks a lot. Gotta be getting on my way. My family will start worrying. See you soon, Wyatt.
See you, Bill.
Come on, baby. Go on. You did a fine job, Wyatt. You saved Bill's life.
Well, I tell you, Mr. Murdoch, you gotta kind of give credit where credit's due. Had quite a bit of help from that calf and its mother.
Massacred General George Custer and his men in the Battle of the Little Bighorn. But for many months prior to this tragedy, renegades were selling contraband rifles to the unpacified tribes.
You Marshal Earp?
Yes, sir.
Captain Benteen, the 7th Cavalry.
What can I do for you, sir?
Well, here's a message from 2 Indian friends of yours. The Indian carrying it was wounded. Our patrol found him.
Oh, it's for Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin. Sit down.
Thank you.
They've been very good friends.
We feel the same way about them, Mr. Earp. We've used them as scouts. Now they've been nabbed by the Hoss Daggett gang, if we've read the message right.
The Daggetts operate in Oklahoma territory, don't they? Wasn't the Army doing something about this?
We've signed peace treaties with the Cheyennes, the Pawnees, and the Osage. Washington doesn't want us to go into Oklahoma territory with troops. The Indians would resent it.
But it's all right for me to go in there, huh?
Well, that's why I'm here. The general wants to deputize you as a United States Marshal. Now, you'll need a good posse. The Daggetts never have less than 50 guns in their outfit. Now, this is merely an official request, not an order, Mr. Earp. Of course, if you feel that you lack the experience...
Captain, when you have friends that are in trouble, you try and help them. I was just wondering why Daggett grabbed him.
Well, we don't know, except that it must be big medicine. Hoss Daggett isn't holding the brother of Yellow Hand and the cousin of Many Battles without a very serious reason.
Well, Hoss is liable to get himself scalped.
Well, I'm glad you realize this isn't any 10-teepee affair, Mr. Earp. Your friends may have extremely valuable information. Also, we can't have Yellow Hand and Many Battles on the warpath. But, as I said, if you feel that a man with more experience...
No, I'll go. You got the paper deputizing?
Right here. The government will pay for your posse and all necessary expenses.
Good. I'll go tonight.
That soon? Well, the general's usually right. He says that when 2 smart Indians appeal to a white man for help, they usually pick the best one they know. Good luck, Mr. Earp.
Thank you, Captain.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Bring that back.
Oh, come on, Doc. Get out of the way, will you? These are heavy.
I know it's heavy. It's valuable, too. Set it down there, Wyatt. I want to talk to you.
Oh, now, come on. We've been through this before.
Yeah, I know. You're a pretty fast talker, Wyatt. I must say, the more I think about your idea, the less I like it.
What's going on, Doc? Moving?
Moving, he says. No, but I might as well be moving. I let this crazy man talk me out of $850 of good, fresh medicines.
Well, sounds like a story here.
No, it's nothing for publication. It's a government job. I'm taking this medicine into the Oklahoma territory.
He's not only committing suicide, he admits it.
Come on, let's hear it.
All right, Mr. Brother and Mr. Cousin are in trouble.
Who?
Well, they're 2 Indian friends of mine, and they got themselves nabbed by the Hoss Daggett gang.
Well, why all the medicine?
Well, I'm going to go in there disguised as a patent medicine doctor. It's the only way I can get into the Daggett camp.
Pretty risky to try and save 2 Indians.
I not only lose my medicine, but I also lose my good and former friend Wyatt Earp.
Oh, don't give me that stuff. You know this hogwash isn't worth a cent, and you know it. All the drug houses send them free samples.
Only 5% are free samples. Besides, who's going to believe you're a doctor?
You know, you look terrible.
I feel terrible. Well, stop that. That's the way he hypnotized me into agreeing to do this thing in the first place.
Don't move, friend. This is your lucky day. Yes, sir, come in a little closer. Now, this is your lucky day, sir, because I am going to give you absolutely free one large-sized bottle of Dr. Livermore's kidney remedy. Oh, now, don't thank me, sir. No, sir. After all, I always say, what's money compared to a happy kidney? Oh, if I can save you, sir, what's the rest of it?
If I can save you, I will not have passed this way in vain.
Oh, yeah, if I can save you, I would have not have passed this way in vain.
That's good, Wyatt.
It would be very funny if it weren't so tragic. I've written columns about the Daggets, Wyatt. They're real bad people.
That's right. You tell him.
If you must go, take a posse.
Oh, no posse.
What did those Indians ever do to justify your risking your life?
Well, they tracked Bill and Ben Thompson in the bushwhacker country near Ellsworth, won't they? They risked their lives.
I can hire Indians to track anybody anywhere for $5.
I ain't going to let you do it, Wyatt.
Well, there's nothing you can do to stop me. Well, sir, I've been deputized as United States Marshal, and I have the authority to seize any supplies that I deem necessary for the performance of my duty.
So you're going to beat me down with words again, huh?
Well, now, look, why don't you just consider it as a loan? If I have to sell any of that stuff to make it look legitimate, well, you'll be getting all the proceeds. That is, of course, providing that, as you say, that medicine is harmless.
What? Why, I'll take a dose out of each and every one of these bottles. It's 90% grain alcohol. Get me a spoon.
Never mind, I take your word for it. What's in the other 10%?
It's calomel and quinine. It won't cure anybody, but it won't kill them either.
Come on, let's get on with our loading. You want to help, Mr. Murdoch?
Wouldn't dare say no.
Be careful of the way you handle that one. It's full of laudanum.
Full of what?
Laudanum. It's a sleeping potion. Drop that and the whole county will go to sleep.
Well, that's good to know. Hey, how do I distinguish it?
You distinguish it by the white line on the outside of the box. And on the inside, the bottles are labeled Dr. Poster's Insomnia Remedy.
Well, I can't leave that one behind.
You ain't leaving anything behind.
Brother still feel bad? Yes. Stomach.
Why don't he try some of that whiskey?
Too sick. Mr. Daggett, you let me go for a doctor.
Oh, I've already sent for one. It's a long trip. First you get the misery's cousin, and now brother. You know, a suspicious man who wasn't your friend might think you were fooling.
No. True.
Time's awful short. You're holding up a big deal on them rifles. Anything wrong with the deal, cousin?
You say, go north. Talk to Sitting Bull. Tell Sitting Bull you have many rifles.
Good rifles. Winchesters.
But Sitting Bull, friend with my cousin, many battles. He is friend with his brother, Yellowhead. But Sitting Bull, not your friend, Mr. Daggett.
We've been over all that before. I never cheated Sitting Bull. If he bought cheap trade guns that blew up, he didn't buy them from me.
Sioux people angry. You cheat them, I pay. He pay.
I told you the rifles are good.
You show me rifles, Mr. Daggett.
You calling me a liar?
No. I asked to see rifles 2, 3 days now I ask.
How do I know you'll go through with your part of the deal? You might tell the soldiers.
We are two. Long way from our people. You have many fighter. We don't want to die.
All right. I'll show you the rifles.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Ain't you Doc Sybil?
Old friend, name's Dr. Turner, but I'll be very happy to help all of you.
You carry Madam Porter's female tincture?
Madam Porter's tincture?
Yeah.
No, I got the elixir, but not the tincture. Your wife in a dilapidated condition?
No wife, Doc.
Oh.
Let me see the elixir.
You want to see the elixir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, friend. I got everything here you need. You got to open the boxes, though. I got to keep them clothes banging around there in the road a little bit.
Sure.
Let's see here. Ah, here we are, first try. Got a lot of boxes there. I think you'll like it.
this is strong as a tincture?
Oh, it's much more powerful. Yes, sir, friend. That's 90% pure grain alcohol.
Well, give her a taste.
It'll cost you 50 cents, Fred.
In advance?
Oh, I'm not running a charity here. No, sir, friend.
Well, it better be good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's fine.
I knew you'd like it. I'll be very happy. I've got more in advance, man. Oh, I got a lot in advance. Well, anyway, I've been thinking of heading in the Oklahoma territory. I understand they got, well, quite a spell of the collar morbus in the nation.
Yep. Got to spell the Daggets, too.
The Daggets, what's that?
Old man Horse Daggett and his crowd.
They sound like outlaws.
I'm a great respecter of you traveling doctors. That's why I'm warning you. Stay wide of the Daggets.
Where do they hang out?
Over in the dry-out section, just over the line. You ought to go straight to Wewoka on the Cherokee Trail.
I sure will, friend. I'm not looking for any trouble. And I sure do thank you for warning me. Well, I guess I better be getting on.
Stop him!
Oh!
Hold up! Who are you?
I'm Dr. Turner. I'm selling medicines.
Just a patent medicine peddler.
So he says. Better take him in for Hoss to look at.
That's a nice team of horses he's driving.
Yeah.
You better be what you claim to be, Doc. Old man Daggett don't like to be lied to. Come on, get him going.
I hope you get real sick. Go on, help yourself.
Hey, cut it out. This one's mine.
Oh, no, we matched for first pick. Turn loose of that horse.
I'll be turned
if I will. Next time, I'll put one through your skull. Now, water them horses good and tie them up. They're mine. What do you call yourself? I'm Dr. Turner. Daggett's the name. Horse Daggett. Ain't you got no better sense than to drive that dry gulch after dark? No, I guess not.
Well, it's not bad stuff, Doc.
Quit that! You might be drinking poison, you fools. Go on, clear out of here. We're not as bad as we're made out. Well, that's real nice to know. If you're a real doctor and you just strayed in here by mistake, you can have your team back. And I'll make the boys pay for the medicine they took. Sounds fair enough. Why, sure. I gotta be awful careful, Doc. See, I'm kind of like your patients. I hanker to keep on living. I can't say I blame you for that. Speaking of patients, I've got a sick friend on my hands. He's got miseries in his stomach. Maybe I can help him. Of course, you can't never tell about Injuns. Fella might be faking. Your friend Indian? Sorry, that lets me out. How's that? Don't like Indians, I won't treat them. Yeah? Well, you're gonna like this one. And you're gonna doctor him. I do a lot of business with Injuns, Doc. Get up. My friend's in the shack. He's got a pal with him. You're paying a call, Doc. I'll pay it. I'm not gonna like it. What's wrong with him? Cholera morbus, I think. Can't be appendix. Stomach's not rigid. I better go get some medicines. You sure he ain't just putting on? Look, like I told you, I don't like Indians, but this one's sick. How sick? Well, I don't know. What do you expect, a complete prognosis in 2 minutes? Take it easy, Doc. I just want for brother to get well. We've got a deal pending on it. Well, I don't care nothing about your deal, but if you want this man back up on his feet, you're going to have to do like I tell you. Sure, Doc. Sure. Now, just let me get my medicines.
Guard,
Sleep. All sleep except men on outposts.
Good. Oh, Mr. Brother, not really sick, huh?
Ne.
Si, Simmons. Napicon Psicalpi.
He says he knew our friend Mr. Earp would come. He's happy.
Sigapi?
Sicalpi.
Sicalpi.
Sistu iu, it's gone dagat waganasi.
He wants to know when we kill Daggett. Get away from here.
Well, you tell him I haven't worked out a plan yet. But he should still play sick, but not so sick. And that when Daggett comes, he should stand up but not be able to walk. You understand?
Ate bialto baka haitso Daggett piano.
Piano. Mosicalpi stisma nama.
He wants to know where your gun at.
You tell him I got him hid in the wagon. And you also tell him we can't shoot our way out of here. There are too many men. We'll have to use some kind of trick.
Nagalim Bacaldo. Legentreisen Waganasi.
Waganasi.
Waganasi. I'm going to try and get some shut-eye. I'll be back first thing come sunup. You men try and get some sleep.
Tehome.
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 Tehome. My good friends.
Hey, Doc. What you doing? None of your business. You must know I'm trying to find the right drug for your Indian friend. You men sure mess things up. I don't need to get sore, Doc. How is brother? Well, he's improving. Just let me alone. I think I could get him cured in a few days. All right, Doc. I'll turn in. That's how much I trust you. You better trust me. Another 6 hours delay and brother had been a dead Indian. Gosh, Doc. Thanks. Good night. Doc in there?
Yeah, he's in there.
Hey, he does feel better. I told you he did. Come on. Sit up. See if you can walk.
You want one, huh?
Awful weak.
But we thank you for bringing good doctor. We make deal.
Good. How soon will brother be able to ride a horse?
Couple days.
Not soon enough. Yanehe. But we could travel north in wagon with good doctor.
You could, but you won't.
Hey, that's a good idea.
It's no idea at all. In the first place, I don't travel with Indians. In the second place, I'm heading south, not north.
You're heading where I say, Doc. Brother and cousin have important business north.
Now, don't be stupid. I'm not going to go...
Shut up, Doc. Might be a lot simpler if you fellas took that wagon without him.
No. Mr. Brother too sick. May need doctor. We wait.
Oh, no. We've wasted too much time already. Doc will go with you. I'll send a couple of boys along to make him behave.
Good. We start.
Giving you a break, Doc. Brother and cousin get to where they're going, you can have your team and wagon. If you act real nice, you'll still be alive.
Thanks.
All right, let's get brother in the wagon.
No.
All right, fellas, get that blanket fixed. Help brother in that wagon. Come on, brother. Up you go. Up. Jack, you ride inside. Ollie, ride your horse an outside guard. Cousin, you'll drive. Doc will ride up front with you. Go on, get in the wagon. Don't worry about Doc. If he gives you any trouble, Jack will give him a good pistol whipping.
Doctor's smart man, Mr. Daggett. He knows this only way he stay alive.
What's the matter with you?
I just want a drink. Do you mind? It's 90% alcohol.
Just one. That's enough. Get him out of here.
Daggett thought he got my only bottle. Well, here's the horse Daggett.
No, you don't. Give me that. Smells like good liquor.
Hey, hold it up there. Hey, Jack, give me a drink of that.
We don't want none of this. Smells better than it tastes.
I'll be the judge of that. Gimme.
Come on, give it back. You don't want to get drunk on the job. I'll tell Hawes. Give me that bottle.
All right.
Come on, let's get going. We got a long way to go. Come on. What's it?
That laudanum worked.
He sleep nice.
Slow down. I want to take care of Ollie. Stop. I gotta catch that horse.
Why you not shoot horse?
Never did nothing to me. Neither did him. Come on. Let's get him off the wagon. So, brother.
Take his gun, Ned.
All right, get him going.
That's Ollie's horse. Something's happened, men. Let's go.
Come on.
Why, those dirty double-crossing red rattlers. They must have been in cahoots with that Doc all the time. Doc and the Indians! Kill him!
We can't outrun him. Where can we make a fight?
Up gully, we shoot from rocks.
Go ahead and turn him.
Get down. Doc! Doc! You and them Indians, come out with your hands up!
All right, they don't think we're going to fight. Let them work in close, and then start shooting slow and steady.
You not shoot?
No, this is going to be your fight.
We thank you. All right, let them have it.
This one's mine. Bueno. Let his men carry him away. I think we can go the rest of the way at a slow trot. Come on.
Howdy, Captain. Brother. Cousin, you all right? We got a report of gunfire across the line. Was that you?
Yeah, we had a little run-in with the Daggett gang. They're camped in the dry gulch down their ways.
They have many rifles they plan to sell.
Sell where?
Up north, Sitting Bull.
Thank you. That's all we need to know. Good job, Mike.
Profitable results. When the cat's away, mice will play.
Get out of here! No pictures! Set it up. I don't want any trouble with you, Murdoch. But you newspaper guys got no business taking pictures of my place. What are you hiding, Keno? What's the sense of you and me arguing? I got a license from the marshal's office to open. Sure, while Marshal Earp is out of town. You couldn't have gotten it when he was here. Pete Dahlgren is deputy while Earp's away. Now take your complaints to him. Don't bother me. Go ahead, take it. Hey, you, none of that! Wait, you have a public license. I want a picture of what a crooked gambling place looks like. Go ahead and take it. Give me that plate! Get that camera busted! Hold it! Hold it, Mac! Hold it! Hold it! That's Marshal Earp. Go on inside.
The rest of you men, break it up. Go on, move.
What took you so long? You said you'd be gone only 10 or 12 days.
I'll tell you about that later. Now, what's going on here?
I want Keno's place closed. I want you to take back his license. Oh, no, Mr. Murdoch. Well, you just kind of lost your tempers, that's all.
Your name's Keno?
Keno McGee. And Pete Dahlgren, your deputy, gave me permission to open this place. But Murdoch here... Shut up. Things have been happening in your office while you were away. You better look into them and look into them fast, or I'll have a story to write you might not like. See you later. Thanks. That camera cost me $300. Isn't all paid for yet.
You say my chief deputy gave you permission to open?
Pete Dahlgren, while you were down in Oklahoma territory. Murdoch doesn't like me. It's a case of personal prejudice. If you don't believe it, just ask Pete.
I will. Now, Mr. McGee, you got a good corner here. The saloon has always made money. You just keep your nose clean. Oh, hello, Marshal. We missed you around here. I missed you, too. What do you got? Just got a shipment of new cards. Gotta change them every now and then.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's hard to keep 52 of them in the same deck. That's what causes a lot of trouble in Wichita.
Which brings you to your point. I mean, you want something. You didn't just come in and chin with me.
All right. You know all the saloon keepers and gamblers in Wichita. What do you know about Keno McGee?
Sometimes I think you don't like me.
Why do you say that?
Because every time you ask me a question, it's one I could get shot for answering.
Well, you'll be waving goodbye to a lot of people around here, so don't let it worry you. Now, we're talking about Keno.
Must have been a one-sided conversation. But if you have to know, I ran across him in Dodge a few years ago, before I ever had a place of my own. As a matter of fact, he asked me to work for him as a dealer. Thought I'd be a novelty.
Go on.
They were fixing to run him out of Dodge at that time.
Man's got to be a pretty bad boy to be run out of Dodge. Crooked gambling?
Oh, lots of reasons. Blackmail, payoffs. He don't stop anywhere.
Sounds like a nice, pleasant fellow.
That's why I wish you wouldn't ask me those kind of questions. Because people like Keno don't stop anywhere.
Well, don't worry, Miss Kay.
Don't worry.
I didn't know the right thing to do about Keno. You was off to Oklahoma territory helping your Indian friends. I just had to use my own best judgment, Wyatt.
Did Mr. Murdoch tell you that Keno's application for a license had been turned down once before?
Yes, he did. But they've been enemies for years. The way I got it, Keno tried to buy the mortgage on the Eagle, put Murdoch out of business. But that's ancient history, Wyatt.
How long has he been operating?
Opened a week ago Thursday, about 10 days.
Any trouble so far?
No, sir. Sam Renfro knows the man better than I do, but both Sam and I agreed that the man was entitled to a license.
No, I'm not asking you to explain anything, Pete. It's just that this man's got a pretty bad reputation.
Well, if I did wrong, I'll get in a horse and start riding.
Well, I don't think you did wrong. I think you did what you thought was right. You and the rest of the deputies have backed me to the limit so far, and I feel the same way about all of you. So let you and I keep our eye on Keno.
Thanks, Wyatt.
Oh, howdy, Sam. Oh, Pete, if you see Mr. Murdoch out there around, will you send him on over?
Murdoch's not here yet, huh?
No, not yet.
Hey, you must have had quite a showdown with that Daggett gang.
Well, I sure could have used you and that great left-handed shooting of yours.
Captain Benteen says you saved them 2 Indians from the happy hunting ground. You turned up a cache of 400 Winchesters. Daggett gang aimed to sell the Sitting Bull for whatever he's up to in Montana.
What's been happening around Wichita?
No grief. Just that row Pete must have told you about. You think it was a mistake to give Keno the license?
No, not exactly.
I'd close the fellow, Wyatt. Why take the risk? Murdoch's all riled up. He'll start a big hoorah.
Pete said you were in favor of the license.
I was. I said to him what I say to you. Keno's a real slimy character. But they haven't yet made that a reason why a man can't get a license. I'll tell you what I'd do, Wyatt.
Don't let me stop you, Sam.
Lucky you did, sir. Wyatt's my boss. I got no business telling him what to do. Excuse me.
Is that man a good officer?
He's the best hand with a gun I got. He's so brave, he scares me.
Oh, now, Wyatt.
Well, what's the news in Wichita?
A story I hope I won't have to print.
The city refuses to take any action on Keno McGee. Look, Mr. Murdoch, if I tried to close Keno's place without any evidence, I'd be putting my chief deputy under suspicion.
And if I print that story, you and your whole staff will be under suspicion.
Go ahead and print it.
Wyatt, are you sure of your deputies?
What do you mean?
Do you trust them?
Like I trust myself. Well, I handpicked each one of those men. When I walk into trouble, like a bunch of drunken cowhands boasting that they're going to cut me down, all I got to do is give the word that I want 2 deputies to back me, and they'll be there. I don't even have to look around to see whether it's Sam, Pete, Ted, or Joe. I know they'll be there.
Oh, no, Wyatt. We're talking about different things.
Look, you're probably right about Keno McGee, but I'm not going to change Pete's decision unless Keno gets out of line.
Excuse me, Wyatt. Rowdy Kate wants to see you right away. But the way I got it was mighty important.
Thanks.
It's him, Miss Kate. It's the marshal.
Well, send him on up.
You can come up, Mr. Earp.
And close that door and don't try to listen.
Oh, no, Miss Kate.
Hello, Wyatt. I don't know why I let you get me all mixed up in your affairs. Maybe it's because you kissed me that day.
Oh, look, let's not go into that again. Besides...
I know. It was really me who kissed you.
Well, it's all been very pleasant. Now, why did you send for me?
You've done me several good turns, Wyatt, and I'm fond of you. You asked me a lot about Keno McGee. So now I can really tell you something.
What?
Have you heard that Keno McGee owns one of your deputies?
Well, I hate to think that, Miss Kate.
Well, could be barroom talk, but I've a hunch it's true.
Who? Well, come on, tell me. Which one of my deputies do you think Keno's bought?
Well, the way I heard it, it's Pete Dahlgren.
That's just a hunch based on spy talk. I don't think Pete'd take a bribe.
Well, he let McGee open. He knew that Murdoch hates Keno.
Well, Pete explained all of that to me, Miss Kate. But I thank you for your interest.
Wyatt, listen to me. It's only a gal's guess, but this gal has been around. If Keno did buy Pete, then he can work some kind of a dirty frame on you, right? Open your eyes, Wyatt. Protect yourself. Mildred?
Yes, Miss Kate, excuse me.
Now what is it?
Mr. Earp, Mr. Murdoch sent word he's waiting at your office.
Thank you. And don't worry. I'll be careful.
Well, glory, hallelujah. A man's taken my advice.
I had to send for you, Wyatt.
What's the matter?
Anonymous letter was waiting for me at my office. Read it.
Bribe money in Wyatt Earp's desk. Letting Keno McGee stay open. You think I had something to do with this?
Oh, don't be an idiot. It's like I've been trying to tell you. One of your deputies is framing you.
About $300 worth.
All right. Let's call in all of your deputies and face them with it.
First man to face with it is Keno.
That's exactly what he wants. Since you found the money in the desk, you'd have a hard time explaining yourself.
Our only chance to find the man who planted that money is to make Keno think his frame worked.
It's too risky, Wyatt. You lose your star. That would make Pete Dahlgren acting marshal. He's the one who helped frame you.
I don't believe that. If Pete did do it, I'll get him. But how can I accuse him or any of the other deputies? Well, what proof do I have?
Well, there's no proof.
All right. You take this money over to Keno and accuse him of bribing me.
Have him hauled before Judge Jewett.
That's right.
So he takes away your star and your guns.
Well, that's exactly what Keno wants, so let's play along with him.
You intend to move around this town without your guns?
Well, that's the law of Wichita.
Yes. Maybe you'll be stuck with it. And this is the money that Mr. McGee admits sending to Marshal Earp. I found the money in the marshal's desk.
But it ain't a bribe or anything like that, Your Honor. It's a free will contribution to the peace officers' Christmas fund.
Did Marshal Earp solicit this contribution?
Well, no, sir, he didn't. He just sort of hinted if I wanted to stay in business around here, I better pay up.
This is an astounding charge, Marshal Earp. Have you anything to say?
Nothing, Your Honor.
You realize this leaves the court no choice but to suspend you?
Yes, sir.
The court would like to state, for the benefit of the press, that it reserves judgment on Marshal Earp's guilt or innocence. Mr. Earp, you will be suspended for 1 week. If at the end of that period you have not offered satisfactory explanation of the matter, you will be removed from office permanently. Court's adjourned.
And all I'm saying is, one of us framed Wyatt. I'm not going to take this.
Don't look at me. I had nothing to do with it.
You let Keno McGee open up.
You felt the same way I did about it. We both felt he at least had a right to open. I want to find out who sent that money. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
Pete? You're acting marshal now.
I think we should all quit.
All right. I'm willing.
So am I.
No. Not all of you. Just one of you should quit.
Keno's thrown his bar wide open to celebrate. Free grub and drinks.
I'll pay him a visit.
No, I'll do that. Put those on, you might need them.
I can't. The judge suspended me.
Now, do you want to be legal or do you want to be dead? Keep those handy.
I'll have plenty of time to put them on after I find out who helped Keno in the deal.
I think I can find out.
Oh?
Now, you go to the hotel. Stay off the streets, promise?
All right.
Now, wait here a second until I've got a good start for Keno's place.
You be careful.
You're the one who better be careful.
Come in, come in.
It's Rowdy Kate, boss. She wants to see you.
Well, bring her in.
Come in, Miss Kate.
Miss Kate, my darling, my competitor, but still my friend, I hope.
Sure, Keno. Pull that out for me since you're feeling like a gent tonight.
Well, it'd be a privilege. There you are, Kate.
Thank you. Well, Wyatt Earp got fired. Where's the champagne?
Champagne, the best in the house. Somebody told me that you and Earp used to be friends.
Used to be for about a week. What's the next move, boss?
No move. Why do you call me boss?
I didn't come here to play games. I want to stay in business. When do you really open up the town? Wild and woolly Wichita, like it used to be.
Not yet. Maybe soon.
Dahlgren's your man, isn't he?
I'm not talking yet.
I don't want to go swimming in this.
I'd fill a bathtub for you, sweetheart. You just say the word. Pete Dahlgren. Somebody shot him. Too bad. You better make your champagne, Kate.
Oh, listen, Keno. I came here to talk business. Dahlgren was your man, wasn't he?
You want to know? The whole town wants to know. We'll tell you when the time comes.
But no freeze out.
You got no worries. Take it easy. You're one of us. There'll be a man around to collect.
Naturally.
Drink up, Kate.
How is he, Doc?
Pete was shot in the back by a left-handed man.
When will Dahlgren be able to tell us who shot him?
Don't be an idiot. Pete never knew what hit him. The fella snuck up behind him. Questioning Pete won't do any good. Pete's dead.
I'm sorry, Wyatt. It's kind of rough when a man has to die to clear himself. You tell Mayor Hope that I want Sam Renfro named as acting marshal. Yeah, sure, I'll tell him.
Who is it?
Wyatt.
Sit down.
No. You hear about Pete?
I was with Keno when it happened. Who do you think killed him?
Oh, I wish I knew.
If they find out I'm mixed up in all of this, they'll come gunning for me. Wyatt, I'm scared.
What did Keno say when Pete was killed?
Just that it was too bad. Will you put on your guns?
Yeah.
Stay here?
I'll try and keep you from harm, you know that.
Wyatt, it was Sam Renfro.
What makes you say that?
I can add 2 and 2. Keno wouldn't deal until Pete was killed. Now he says a man will be around to collect for me every week.
I'm gonna get my guns. I'll be right back. You stay close to Mildred.
Thanks, Wyatt.
I'll send her right up.
Hey, Ted, you and Joe come in here and help me clean up this mess of paper. Ted, you hear me?
Sam, Keno said someone talked. He wouldn't say who, but words around Earp's gone for his guns.
Tell Keno I'll be right down.
Yes, sir.
Who is it?
Sam Renfro. Open up. Give it to me straight. Who knows about me?
Wait a minute, Sam. Who you pushing around?
I said give it to me straight. Who'd you talk to?
Well, only Kate, but she agreed to pay. She's good people.
Good people. She's one of Wyatt's best friends, you fool.
If that man's coming to shoot us, why don't we run out of here?
It's only been a few minutes. Why? It'll come.
Yes, but what if Mr. Earp don't get here first? What then? That's him. It ain't Mr. Earp. Don't you go to that door, please.
Wyatt?
Yes? Sam just killed Keno McGee. I think he's on his way over here.
Oh, good Lord.
You clear out, Mildred. He's not after you.
No, sir. I stay with Miss Kate.
All right. Then you get over against that wall. Miss Kate, when he comes, you open the door, then you flatten yourself against that wall. All right, remember, keep back against the wall. Shh.
Who is it?
Marshal Renfro, Miss Kate. Open up.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Sam. You go for that gun, I'll break both your arms. That means the left one first. Just like you shot Pete in the back.
You're not that good.
And are you willing to state that you dictated this confession and signed it of your own free will? You're charged with the murder of Keno McGee. Also, the murder of Chief Deputy Dalton on the streets of Wichita. You will be remanded to jail and held there for trial. Take him away.
Judge, I won't be safe in jail. As soon as this courtroom's cleared, it's just a matter of time until some mob breaks in here to get me. I won't be safe, Judge.
You'll be safe, Your Honor. No lynch mob's gonna get to him. The other deputies and I'll see to that. If I had wanted to take his life, I'd have taken it when he tried to murder Miss Kate. He's worried about a mob. Well, I wonder if he's also worried about the fact that he blackened the good name of a fellow worker and then murdered him. I wonder if he's worried about the fact that Miss Kate's still alive and that he was stopped before he could kill me. No, Mr. Renfro. There are other things more important than mobs. But don't you worry. I'm not going to let a lynch mob get you. You can rest assured of that. No. I want you to stand before this court and be legally tried and sentenced to hang. I've never asked that penalty before. But in the case of Sam Renfro, I believe it to be just and fair. I thank Your Honor for hearing me out.
Both characters bid for popular favor. Usually the shows were pretty good, but usually the cowboy audiences were full of liquor and bad-tempered. Their response to the drama was simple and primitive. If they liked the show, they threw money on the stage. If they didn't like it, they started a riot. But in the case of Jeff Pruitt and his carnival honky-tonk...
Come on, girl. The rehearsal's over. The whole show's over. Don't worry about it.
You've got no right to close my show, Earp.
It isn't a show.
You don't know nothing about it. You're a Johnny Law. You know show expert.
I know enough to know what you were running. Your girls are underpaid and they were rolling drunken cowhands.
That's a lie.
And the music hall's owned by this city. You're closed, Pruitt.
I fight with my fists. I don't wear guns with 2 deputies to protect me.
If that's the way you want it, I'll take them off.
Not now. I want to get you all alone, where nobody can save you from a beating.
Okay, you arrange that, Pruitt. You fix it up real soon. I'll take him and the girls to the hotel. Archie, put up that sign.
Hey, aren't you going to have them fined for putting on an off-color show?
No, our job is to keep cowhands from being robbed, not to protect their morals.
Wyatt, we're going to have more trouble over at that music hall.
Jeff Pruitt?
Now it's that new company, the Harlow Players.
What's their problem?
Well, Harlow's been making the cowhands sore at him. Mr. Murdoch says you'd better come right away.
show business. Had more trouble with the music hall than 10 saloons put together.
Now remember, my darling, a child's duty is to be honest, cheerful, and obedient.
Do I have to obey him, Mama? He is not my real papa.
Hush, my dear. You must obey Mr. Lash. I myself have vowed to love, honor, and obey him.
But he is cruel. He makes you cry.
The truth, from the lips of my own little girl. How could I have consented, in a moment of weakness, to marry Mr. Lash?
Well, you shouldn't have done it.
Hark! It is he. It is Mr. Lash.
Oh, Mama, I am afraid.
Do not be afraid.
So.
I find you whispering. What is it this time, Well, answer me.
Don't tell him nothing. If she tells on our little Mary, we're gonna...
It's too late for a subterfuge, Agatha. 1 hour ago, I intercepted a letter which this ungrateful child wrote to her maternal grandparents in Schenectady.
No.
Yes. Leave the room, Agatha.
Please, Mr. Lash, I beg of you.
Don't you leave, ma'am.
You stay with little Mary. I am your husband. Leave the room.
Heaven help us.
Now, you ugly little fiend. I'll teach you to write lies about me.
It is true. You are mean and cruel to my Mama.
Oh, indeed. Well, I can be meaner. I'll teach you what cruelly feels like. You have presumed to sneer at me. You have dared to write your maternal grandparents in Schenectady that I am a secret drunkard. You have spied upon me, you ungrateful child. Let me thanks to this officer here.
I love my papa. I'm not crippled and he doesn't spank me in real life.
You go on in and finish your show. I'll see there's no more trouble. Come on, take him inside. Come on, get in.
We've put on and suffered little children 100 times. I had no idea the audience here would react the way it did, Mr. Earp.
Well, you ever been out west before?
No.
You just don't understand cowhands, Mr. Howland.
Just like other people, aren't they?
Sure, when they're sober. The trouble is that most of them are never sober. You see, Wichita's the end of a long cattle drive for most of them, and they, well, their stay here is their one big holiday of the year.
Oh, see.
Now, before your show opened, I had to close an all-girl show. They probably resented that.
What you're trying to say is I should have put on a more cheerful play.
Yeah, I guess that's what I want to say. You see, they don't care much for villains.
Well, then we're finished.
How's that?
I'm down to 2 sets. The one we used tonight and one for Death to the King. Most of tonight's audience demanded their money back.
Oh. You got financial troubles, huh?
I haven't told my wife, but they held our other sets and most of our costumes in Kansas City. Panic of '73 is still lurking in the wings, you know.
Can't you put on the other play?
I'm an even worse villain in that one.
Papa, can't Mama and I come in now?
Well, all right.
The Dying Swan, catch! Oh, it isn't proper. Papa should have caught me. You're a strange man.
Jeannie.
Don't scold her, hon. Jeannie's just putting that on, mister. She aimed herself straight at you.
Why, Papa, I did not.
Oh, it's all right, Jeannie. I like you, too. Well, Mrs. Harlow, your husband and I talked it over, and we decided you ought to put on Death to a King tomorrow night.
Well, yes, we'll put on the King,
Won't that start another riot?
Well, I hope not. Anyway, my deputies and I will be on hand.
It seems I have no choice.
That's right. Our company's financially embarrassed and down to 2 sets. Papa doesn't think Mama knows, but we both know.
Jeannie.
That's all right. I've been broke a few times myself.
You won't let those cowhands hurt my papa, will you?
Jeannie, I give you my word of honor. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you, sir.
The swooning princess. I fell right into the arms of the law.
You'd better fall right into the arms of Morpheus.
Yes, Mama. Good night, Mr. Earp.
Good night, Jeannie.
Good night.
She's very sweet. Good night.
Thank you.
Stupid cowhands. Yeah, they didn't get that actor away fast enough. Earp jumped him at the stage door.
When do we try it again, Jeff?
Well, tomorrow night if Harlow's got the guts to put on another show. But no cowhands this time. Let them start the rumpus. And you boys grab Harlow, put him on a horse, and head for the Douglas Avenue Bridge. Earp will ride to the rescue, and we've got him.
Harlow again.
Wonder if that no-good child-beating murderer gets murdered, or does he murder the king?
He better get murdered.
Hi, White. Hiya, Marshal.
All right, hold it down, hold it down. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Last night, some of you folks out there in the audience took the play too seriously. Now, just in case you haven't read today's Eagle or were told by your bartender, I'm going to repeat a mild warning. Now, this stage up here belongs to Mr. Harlow and his actors, and nobody else, and that includes everybody out there. Now, if anybody tries to climb up on this stage except the actors, or tries to make any unnecessary noises, you're going to get buffaloed. The law says you'll stay in jail for 30 days. Now, me and my deputies are going to be sitting in the front row, so all of you just sit back, relax, and enjoy the play.
And now, on with the play.
6,000 men approached to seize my castle and my kingdom. And I, alone and deserted. My life is like this piece of cord. It had its beginning. It must inevitably have an ending.
Now, what could be fairer than that?
And yet, a king must sleep, restless with the burden of his own crown. For on this day, I did but hearken to such tales of woe from my poor subjects that death, not sleep, would such a blessing be. But hold, my wretched life.
Did you find anything new on the saloon beat?
Yep. Pruitt got drunk over at Rowdy Cates and talked too much. He says he's going to let this new show run without any trouble, and then he's going to grab Harlow before the curtain goes down.
Oh, what's he got against Harlow?
Nothing. Except he figures that you're going after Harlow. He's bragging that he's going to bushwhack you. He's going to take your guns away and beat you up with his fists.
Hey, that's good. Almost too good to be true. Are you sure?
Rowdy Kate passed me the word. She hasn't lied to us yet.
I trust her. Go get Brick. We gotta plan this carefully.
Right.
Alley!
Come, my dear. You have given life great courage. Give death an equal bravery, for death is nobler than life.
Alley!
I can bear it for myself, Mr. Carton, but for you.
No, my child.
Why must you sacrifice your life for them? Why?
Charles Darnay is a good man. I have loved his wife, Lucy, with the one pure affection God has granted me in this world. And their child.
Alley!
In sparing little Lucy's life, I gain a child of my own. Is all that not worth a few moments out there?
Let me go first, Mr. Carton.
No, my darling. You are friendless and alone. If you went first, I might lose you. His angels might hurry you away.
Oh, but I would wait. I promise, Mr. Carton. I love you.
How fortunate we are. We meet in prison, and by chance of numbers, we are together now.
Say you love me, Mr. Carton. Just a little.
More than a little. In the light of eternity, your soul should be bright and beautiful.
Beautiful?
The loveliest young lady who has come from France. And even I, a weakling, a wastrel, and a rogue. If my prayers be answered, I too shall be pleasing in his sight.
Oh, you will, you will.
Sidney Carton.
But a few moments now, and I'll have you in my arms again. Think this of me. It is a far, far better thing I do than I have ever done. It is a far, far better rest I go to than I have ever known.
Alley!
Marshal Earp, those men, they grabbed my papa. Stop them, stop them.
Get him off of there. You boys get these horses out of sight. Get down off of there. Our Earp will be along soon because a lot of people saw the way we went. And I want you to walk right around in a little circle in this road. And don't run out on us. If you do, we're going to shoot you down. Understand?
Mr. Harlow, glad to see you're not hurt.
I said I'd get you alone. I'm sorry, Mr. Earp. You're going to be a lot sorrier. Get his guns.
All right, Pruitt, it's your turn. Lift them, all of you.
Now, come on, drop them. Get them. Come on, get those guns down. Get them up. Come on, get over here, all of you. Hurry up. Are you going to shoot me, huh?
No. Keep your guns on the rest of them. Mr. Pruitt's first. You wanted a fist fight, didn't you?
Not with your deputy shooting me in the back.
Don't worry, they won't. You stay out of this.
Right.
Watch it.
This is what I've been wanting. Now get up.
You can't wait, can you? Come on, get up.
Come on, Pruitt. Get up, Pruitt.
Come on. Come on.
Swing. That's it.
Get up. You ain't hurt.
Get up.
No, Mr. Earp. You've whipped him.
You're next. Push him out. Shove him over here.
No. No. Stop him! Stop him!
Come on. What's the matter? You heard Pruitt brag I couldn't fight with anything with my guns. Well, come on!
No, come to your senses, man. You'll kill him. Get out of it. This ain't my fight, Earp.
It is now.
Quiet, please, Mr. Earp.
You better get him over to Fabric's office. I'm sorry. Mr. Al, I try to stay out of fistfights. Gun's less personal and I don't get so mad.
I can't fight with my fists or a gun. But if I had to fight you, I'd sure choose a gun.
How'd Tale of Two Cities go?
Oh, tremendous. I missed 5 curtain calls at least.
Great. You'll run forever. In Wichita, that means about 2 nights. You better climb aboard.
Aren't you riding back?
No. We'll take a little walk. I'll see you in town.